Welcome back everyone. Today I have another video and today we're doing Monkey D. Luffy Red Green. And you might have seen the title of this video and think, okay, this guy's crazy, he's coping too much. But I'm not. I do definitely think this deck is the same as Zoro, but much better. The reason why is not so much because you get to play some green cards, which you do, and they can be really powerful. But it's more than anything the leader ability. The fact that you can do dual attack on many of these cards gives you the advantage over any Zoro deck, because any threat that survives becomes a lethal threat. And that's something that Zoro doesn't necessarily have. It's like having a rusher on every card that you have. And that's something, and you get to attack for bigger numbers. So it's something that the Zoro deck doesn't have, and it gives you a much better matchup versus the worst matchup for both decks, which is the black deck. So it gives you the ability to go for game on any card basically, and that is very important for the success of the deck. And the deck that you see right now here is the deck that you're gonna see on the video. I'm gonna do another tab here where you can see an updated list how I think the deck could probably go from, and it gets a little bit improved. But yeah, this is like the baseline of the deck that I think is it makes a lot of sense. The new card that really makes everything like any aggro deck possible is definitely Chopper. The fact that you can untap it on turn 2 is incredibly powerful, and is better than Zoro because you bring out the bodies, you defend those guys, and those guys now attack 4-6 times. So you generate way more advantage than Zoro, and you do it at a way higher rate. You're doing equally as aggressive, and if they go too low on life, Kid and Killer will untap twice and attack for a 7-9, which is much better than whatever you can do on Zoro. And this is mainly the reason why this is better than Zoro, because this is just way much more value than you can get out of Zoro. Because you get a rusher, it counts as twice, and you still get the value, right? And a card that you can play is Hawkins, but I didn't really like Hawkins. Hawkins being the existence of Jack in the format means that you can always remove Hawkins not that hard, and it's really 6 down that you don't get back. It's difficult to remove, but because Jack is a card, is not that difficult anymore. So I'd rather play more Laws, which Law allows you to transform your Namis, your 2K counters that you search out of Chopper, or whatever you get into some valuable place, into another Chopper, into another, like any of the Choppers would be fine. I think you should be playing Zoro in this deck also. So that would be like the only main change that I would do. But yeah, the idea is still there, and it really showcases how powerful this deck is. As I'm saying, I think is equally as good as Zoro, but it's just Zoro. It basically plays the best cards that Zoro can play. But you can also play Cavendish, which Cavendish with this deck is insane, because you can play Cavendish, play a Chopper on 6 dawn, and then the opponent has to deal with both threats, and if they don't, this guy is attacking for infinite damage and also untapping your energy. So it makes a huge difference of what you can do with this deck in comparison by playing some green cards, and that's the main reason why I say what I'm saying about this deck, of course. But don't let me be the one that I'm telling you. You can see the gameplay for yourself. If you are playing Zoro and you think you can do better, try this deck. I'm telling you, this deck is equally as good. You can modify it to the way that you want, but it ultimately is gonna serve you the same way, and you're gonna have the same amount of games that you're gonna finish before even 10 down, because that's how aggressive this leader can be. Alright, so after playing like about 20 games with this deck, I feel like any other card that is not like this aggressive, I don't think it matters. So I'm gonna just change the Hawkins for a Zoro, and I'm gonna add another Law, because Law can be played at any point and it's gonna be good. So I think that makes a better option for the deck, and it still gives you the same amount of value. Again, as I'm saying, try it for yourself and make the changes that you think are necessary. But this list is absolutely amazing, as I'm saying. Okay, and we're gonna go against Bunny. This matchup doesn't seem to be that bad, because remember, we can untap or Choppers or whatever we attack with very easily. And we have our one cost event, so we're pretty set up here. Oh, and we got another chopper. This is just great. We're gonna be able to attack, and I mean, I guess my opponent should have kept an energy here, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't affect my chopper. I guess it affects my leader, but I guess he wasn't expecting to get hit by the one cost. But this is a format where this card exists, so you should be playing around it. And here I just get 3 attacks for free, so my opponent is definitely behind a little bit. No, the hits weren't the best hits, to be honest. Always the best hit to hit is the chopper. But, I mean, it's not bad. He took 2 lives out of Bunny. This is pretty good for me, in my book, honestly. It's before turn 2, so definitely worth it here. I do combo here, and he assumed he's going to be able to tap something of mine, but it's not that big of an issue. I'll get the chopper. That's fine. And then, oh, he tapped the leader. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I combo with Sanji, so I could get it back. I'm thinking if I should, and maybe I shouldn't have done the chopper here. Might have been a mistake. But I'm gonna play the blocker, the FICO's law, because I mean it gives me a lot of value here. I get to play this one, even though it's not gonna play anything, and that's why the reason I wanted, maybe I should have kept the chopper, the blocker, because the blocker is really good in this matchup. So if I keep the blocker, he cannot really attack with Cavendish. So I think this is a mistake on my end. I just should have kept the blocker. So if in case he attacks with Cavendish, I have an AC out to it, and I don't have to attack or do some crazy stuff to get rid of it, right? Now again, my opponent will probably be able to remove 1 thing, but not 2. He plays a blocker, but these cards are so meaningless, honestly. Here we're good. So what I can do is just poke at the leader. Well, it doesn't matter who I poke to. I just want to see what he taps, which of course is gonna be the blocker, but it doesn't really matter. And then I can go for a big attack here on the chopper. I don't really think he's gonna, yeah, so he had to block that one, so he has to block this one. Maybe could have done it in a different way, but it doesn't matter really. Actually, I could have untapped the law, and it would have been better, I think. But that wouldn't have forced the block, so it doesn't. No, this is okay. I like this. Now my opponent does freeze my whole board, and that will probably buy him a turn. But however, again, I have a bunch of rushers. I have a bunch of cards that I can untap with my leader ability. So this is not even an issue. It's like, okay, I'll attack with something next turn for sure. He attacks my chopper. Sure, you got it. It's not that big of a deal. Whatever I get to untap here and attack is good enough, right? He attacks my chopper. I could defend that one. That one is not bad to defend, because then I don't have to spend too much time attacking his bunny. But I do have this guy, so the first thing I'm gonna do is attack with this one. He has to kill my killer. Maybe not has to kill my killer, but I mean, highly advisable to do. And then, oh, he didn't kill my killer. He killed the blocker. Okay, well, I'll attack with 8 here. Still more value here if I attack for 8 and get something else. And I forgot to attack with my leader, but I should have attacked with my leader too. Oops. But, I mean, I still firmly ahead. Even if he does play a 10-drop Kaido or whatever. Yeah, if he played a 10-drop Kaido, he had a better chance. But right now, he seems to be in a really difficult position here. He plays Hawkins, but Hawkins doesn't really do anything against us, because we do have Chopper, so we get to attack for 7, try to take a life, and we can restand the Chopper and keep attacking with that one. And then we attack for 5/5. I mean 7, and then 5, and then another restand on the Chopper, or even the killer. It doesn't really matter. Attack for 5. And then restand and attack for 8. Pretty decent to me. And then my opponent's at 0. What is the best play that he can do? I'm still at 3 life. There is no way that he can go for game. Flamingo doesn't do anything. I can just either play another killer or defend this one and attack for all the numbers in this one. That's the nice thing about this leader that like a deck like Zoro cannot do. Like always, any card in my deck basically can transform into a lethal attack, a dual attack, go for game, which is something that Zoro does not have. And why I say this deck is just Zoro, but better, honestly. Okay, and we're gonna play versus Rob Lucy. This matchup, I figure is the most difficult out of equally as Zoro. Like it's gonna be very difficult. But the key difference, as I'm saying, is that any card can become a dual attacker. So if anything sticks on the board, which is not a guarantee, but it's likely that some things are gonna stick on the board, then you're gonna be okay, right? And I didn't realize I had double of the Searcher here in my hand, so I think I only play one here. Although he attacks for everything, so I could have just played 2 Searchers here. And because I didn't hit the chopper here. So yeah, definitely a mistake on my end. But not that big of an issue. I can play a chopper attack and try to hit another chopper on this attack. Not that bad. Usually it's hard to gauge if you should combo out of the first attack or you shouldn't. Going first maybe is a good option to combo out of the first attack just in case you can do like a Rob Lucy. And sometimes I wouldn't attack if that's the case. But it's hard to tell. I think I wouldn't have hit the chopper if I do the second one. And he does a who's who, so he gets to kill my chopper. So now we have to make the deck function without chopper. Which is not impossible, but is not the best, of course. So we attack for 3. I mean for 5. And then for 5. And then they predict that we're going to be very aggressive, so they don't just want to take 5s. But that's okay with us. We can play a longer game. It's not that big of a deal. I wish I could play another blocker chopper. But, I mean, this one is not terrible. It's just a 4K attacker here. Now, we have 2 life. We are low on that, but it's fine. This game, the games with this guy always end super quickly. So, it doesn't, like, that's your goal, to end the game quickly. So, you have to set up yourself the best that you can. Now, he plays Jack. A very annoying card right now. Because I have to deal with that one. At least we get to block with this one. And I don't think he's gonna attack with who's who because it's an easy 5k block for me. And then yeah, if I can just attack his who's who, then that's good for me, right? However, I'm just gonna play the Cavendish here and attack for the best number that I can. Because that's a lot of cards if he wants to defend the Jack. That's at least 3 cards. And then at that point, I'm okay with that, right? He did. Okay, so then I'm not going to attack the leader because I don't want to give him more cards. And I want him to either have to have the cards on hand and then he won't be able to tap like his leader or something like that. Or his Jack. Or see where he goes from here. If he tries to go for game, then we have a different avenue to try to go there, right? He attacks with everything now. Sensing that if he doesn't remove my board, then I could maybe even go for game, depending on how many cards I have. So he has to also be careful and try to bait the attacks into the creatures. So this is not a bad play at all, just like with this one. The question is, what else does he have? Okay, so he has a Kaido. Kaido, good against us right now. Very, very good, actually. And he kills my Cavendish. I think I need to play another Cavendish next turn, so I will keep that one. Oh, he doesn't use the Kaido. And this is okay, because he doesn't just want to lose the Kaido, the Jack, to my board. I mean, he can take a life, but is that worth it? Then you don't have... I don't know, you don't have cards in hand, and then, again, it's all about, like, my board, because it could be really damaging at some point. And we do get the value here. You must answer these cards or try to go for game now. So my opponent is in a difficult decision here. He has only 2 cards in hand at the moment. So, and I have a really threatening board. So do you go for board? Do you go for game? What do you really do here, right? And he doesn't have cost reduction. The only card that he drew that is cost reduction, he had to use it right now. So he's in a very precarious spot as a black player, which is very good for us, of course. And that's why, like, if you take too much life early on, then it can finish you off with something like Kid and Killer. Because remember, black decks as a whole, they play a lot of breaks. So if I just push you super hard, you're gonna die even if you have 8 cards in hand. With a Kid and Killer, because it's just the conundrum that they have to face. But if they overly defend, especially with this deck that I can do dual attack with any card, then it becomes a little bit difficult, right? Like now he has to spend attacks attacking my cards, and look at this board that I get to untap with. Incredible, actually. So yeah, it becomes a problem, right? So I'm thinking I can attack for 8 into the Jack. However, little did I remember that he needs to be at 2 life. So definitely I wasted an attack here, and could cost me the game. But I'm still I still in like decently enough position where maybe it's not that bad. Coping, and I can get away with this. I could also attack the Kaido here, but it's not guaranteed that he's gonna die. So might as well just attack the leader. Try to get more creatures out, and force my opponent to go for game on 2 cards, which is highly unlikely. I don't think there's anything that he can play that like puts me on that bad of a spot. And then here I could untap either the Cavendish to get more 2 energy, but I don't really have anything to do with that. I can untap the Killer to guarantee the damage, or I can untap the Chopper so I can get more creatures into the board and force my opponent to attack my creatures again. I think the latter is the better option here, because it forces my opponent to have to deal with my board again with 3 cards in hand, which unlikely. It's not likely that you can deal with everything. So then that gives me some value here, right? He attacks my Cavendish, and I'm definitely just gonna defend it, because Cavendish on tapping is insane. Yeah, he can attack it for 5 here, but he also has to defeat the other 3 cards. And yeah, he doesn't even have a Rob Lucci, he doesn't have a Gecko Moria to maybe keep himself in this game, and that's enough. I can just untap with anything. And the next card that I was gonna draw is a Kid and Killer, so that would have been just a good game right there. Alright, now Black Yellow Luffy, it could be a difficult matchup, but not really. Because we have... Actually, I think we are okay. We're definitely better than Zoro at that point, because any card can become a dual attacker. So even if they have a high defensive card, if we have something like a law blocker, a Cavendish, we can just attack for big numbers twice, and sometimes that would be good enough, right? And I will definitely try to attack early, because I want to force him to pitch cards out of his hand early on. And I want to force the... we didn't get anything out of this, but that's fine. I do kind of want 1 card in my hand. But we want to force for him to either have to awaken super early, or we want to force cards out of his hand like immediately. And he does this, which is fine. It's not that big of a problem. I get to attack here. I could attack for... I didn't need to attack for 6. I could attack for 3 and play double 1-drop search, which is good too. That's not like bad at all. He's forced to attack the blocker, which is great. Again, always. And then, yeah, we'll play this one. It's not bad. And then we can defend the Chopper. That's not even a bad idea. And then force the opponent to, okay, what are you going to play? Are you not going to play a blocker? And play this one, KO my thing? Okay, sure, that's fine. Then we start forcing the opponent to have to combo of attacks here. Right? So we go 5, 5, 5. And then what is the opponent? They have to combo of this. They don't want to go to 1, right? 5. Okay. Then I could just stop attacking here and force him to self take the last life and go to 7. And now since I have a Cavendish, that's fine. I could have gone for 5-5 at least twice, like one more time, so he attacks my my chopper. But that's okay. I mean, it's not the biggest problem. So he has to combo at least one car. Because I don't think he just takes that one, because then I can just attack with a big number with chopper. And yeah, I don't develop anything. And I think I did want to have the Cavendish there. So because it takes a really specific card to be able to deal with the Cavendish. It's not just the Luffy. So that's why I wanted to do this. Now we have... What else do we do here? Okay, the opponent has to play something here, right? Yeah, okay. So they play the Luffy, they become a 7k, and they do the leader ability. So that's what they need to do, but they're not going to be able to play Gekko Moria next turn. Or if they do, it's going to be a very weak Gekko Moria. So here we get to definitely take an advantage of that. We didn't get anything really good. So I guess that's fine. But we did get a kill and killer, so we can start applying that pressure right now. And yeah, I can do it as soon as right now. So I attack with the Cavendish. We can attack for 9 actually. If we want to. And I think it's correct, because I think tapping with the Cavendish is the right option here. Because it's going to give me 2 more energy, and I can attack for 9, 9, and 9. Attacking for 7 is incorrect. Yeah, I have to set up the 2 energy first. See if he takes it. So then I have the option to attack for 9 again. Or I have the option to attack 7-7 depending on how he does. He takes that one. And that's a problem for him. Because me bottom decking his life targets means that he has to find more, or he has to like have the exact targets, right? So yeah, okay, I'm able to combo there, but he doesn't have like I'm saying, he doesn't have a target on hand, so he had to pitch those, and he have to have I don't think he has the small creatures in hand on grave, so he has to have all of that. So he has to give me all of that from hand plus attacking, right? So this is just great for me. Yeah, he might be able to kill one of my either killer or the Cavendish, but this will be good enough. And he doesn't even play the Gekko. That's how bad. Well, he doesn't have the baby, so that's one of the things about attacking early is that yeah, sometimes they're just not gonna have the small creatures. They're not gonna have the full combo. Even if they have the Gekko, they're missing pieces. And that's just good. This is a really good attack though in this spot for him. He's like, okay, well, I cannot play this guy, so I'm gonna play defense. I'm gonna play 2 on my life and attack with the killer, since you combo 2 cards to save the Cavendish. So I either block and lose. Either way, I'm gonna lose my 2 creatures here, because I cannot. No, I'm gonna lose just one, because I can block one of them. Is which one do I rather keep? The killer or the Cavendish? And I think the Cavendish will be better overall, since he didn't pump his leader. Then everything else can attack, and since everything else can attack, I think the Cavendish will be a better target to save here. And I have options here. The first thing that I will need to attack the leader, force cards out of his hand again. I'm preoccupied about the fact that he could play Gekko Moria next turn and be really effective. So I do have to keep attacking the leader. Even if that puts me at risk of dying. However, I do maybe plan to play the law. So I might not be just dying next turn, depending on what happens here. He combo a 5k. Okay, that's fine. We can keep pushing for 5s here, or for a 6 here. It's not bad. Attack. He takes a 5. So that either tells me he doesn't have any cards to combo in hand, because there's no way you don't combo a 5, right? So then he doesn't even have any counter in hand, which is likely because this deck plays bricks, a lot of bricks too. And since we haven't had he haven't given him the chance to just cycle all those bricks out of the hand, that could be an option. Or he's trying to bait me into doing into going into not attacking his board, maybe going for game. But I think I will be fine here with a 2k counter and a blocker, because I definitely just want to play the blocker. Play the blocker, get back the 2k counter to my hand is probably better than leaving the 2k counter on board. The question is if I play something else after, and I don't think that's correct. If anything, I have to hopefully draw a Cavendish in hand. Attack for 6. He has to block, so he definitely doesn't have any counter here. Maybe I could have done this a little bit different, as to use the better, like the extra energy that I have. But yeah, as I was expecting, he didn't have any counter in hand. But I could have used the extra energy that the Cavendish gives you better, honestly. Yeah, I mean, it's a showcasing of the deck of how aggressive it can be. And he did have the Gecko Morias, he did have all of these things, but if he played the Gecko Moria, he was not really going to get good value out of the Gecko Moria. It could have, but it's still, like, we were able to just steamroll, like, what we can do here this turn, of course. And he wouldn't have really been able to deal with 2 threats there. I think I would have been able to untap with the Cavendish and the Killer. So even if he does play a Gecko Moria and gives the leader a 1 buff, he becomes a 7k. I surely can pair through that with that hand that he had. So it was the problem for his strategy. He just didn't have enough to survive here. He needed to guarantee the kill on the Killer because that's the only option that he had, really. Okay, we're playing versus Nami. Nami, I don't think is a bad matchup for us at all. The dual attack on the leader and the extra, like, we have a lot of advantages. They do have White Snake, and I think that's something that my opponent could play around, trying to stop the game for ending with enough White Snakes. That would be annoying, but I think we can play around it. I think we can definitely just see how the game develops, and then we'll see what's gonna happen, right? I definitely just want to play the chopper here, because it's guaranteed that I'm gonna have a chopper next turn. I don't think they have any... I mean, they could play something like... well, it doesn't matter. Like, I just have to play because he's not going to attack me, right? So, I guess I could wait until the following turn. Like, play something like the 3-drop chopper, the blocker. And then wait until next turn so I can play a chopper and then keep up the event so I can at least get some value. But I think this is fine. I think even if he attacks the chopper, the blocker for a lot... I could get this one because this one plays the 2k counter, but I don't think it's needed. I'm gonna be searching a lot with this one. I really don't think he's gonna remove my chopper, my 3-drop. Look at the top 5. So I think it's better to just combo and save this one and keep the cards in hand. And I honestly should have combo with Sanji. That was probably correct. I have options now. I can attack with this one. In this matchup, the blocker one doesn't really do much, so attacking with this one is correct. And I definitely want to keep attacking in this matchup, even if he does have White Snake, because I mean, yeah, I mean, that's one. I have to get through those eventually, right? And this just allows me to be more aggressive and so on and so forth. So we have a full board this turn. Next turn, my opponent has to show me another White Snake, and if they do, that's the second one, and we can play around that one a little bit more. So that's what I meant with this deck, the way it is, right? And this is the reason why I should have come with the Sanji, because now I have this chopper and I could have just get so much value here. My opponent is signalizing White Snake, but I do want to see if he has it. If he doesn't have it, then combo 5. But if he does have it, then I can abuse that a little bit, right? But he didn't show me a White Snake here, so hey, I get to attack for 5 on everything, so I don't have to waste attacks to do different attacks to do all of these things. I can just be really aggressive this turn, attack for 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and he has to combo out of everything. Hey, that's what I want, right? Because I wanted to use the leader ability as well, so this is just perfect for me. I don't have to search anything else. I don't need to search anything else. But this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks this turn. Like, as soon as turn 2. That's just insane, right? Zoro could do the same, yes, and in this matchup doesn't really matter that much. But still, the fact that I can do dual attack on any car matters a lot, because Zoro will have a much harder time against Whitesnake that I could ever have, right? So that's like the key difference on our decks, and on this Luffy and the Zoro deck. They're gonna have a much harder time trying to defend this onslaught of cards, right? Yeah, he can pump the other cards much easier, but it doesn't matter, honestly. Here he does have the Kayas and the Pilafs. He's not drawing bad by any means. He just needs more White Snakes to be able to survive here. But anticipating that he might have a White Snake this turn, I will attack for 6. He has the Rubber Band, but I'm okay, sure. I'll attack for 6 again. You want to show me a White Snake? Because now a White Snake is not enough. He doesn't? Okay, well, attack for 6 again. You want to show me a White Snake? He doesn't. So now that he stopped out of White Snake, then I attack for 5s. So we get all the value that we want. And we get the Sanji back, so we can always just keep Connor and save our cards if we want to. I could keep one of my Chopper. I definitely want to play the Kid and Killer here. So he attacks. He blocks that one. I'm okay with that. I don't need to do the dual attack this turn, because it really isn't for that much. And I do want to develop the Kid and Killer, so next turn I can just go for it. Honestly, there's no other thing to it. He's gonna bounce back the blocker, thinking the next turn I will be going just for a dual attack all in. But I have my Kill and Killer here. He goes Gobble, okay. And then I go Kid and Killer, attack you on 7. He has to take that one. So he's at what? How many cards left? 16. Okay, so 16 card left. 14. It's highly unlikely that he's gonna be able to mill during his turn, so he has to do it during my turn. And that's also very difficult. He needs what? Like, well, he needs a lot, honestly. He needs really a lot, because this Kid and Killer is the bigger problem here. So let's attack for 5. See if he has the White Snake. I could have attacked for 6, honestly, because yeah, he does need a White Snake to survive here. But I'm okay with him just having to do White Snake here, because that's a lot of his energy. And then, okay, he has 2 White Snakes. Okay, so then here's my Killer. Attack for 12. He has to combo out of this one now. Which he does, but then how do you combo out of the second one, which is even bigger? It's 15. So yeah, huge differences. He did have another White Snake, so he could have. I think his plan was to just try to White Snake his turn out of this one, but the Kid and Killer definitely just takes all of that out of the equation because of the leader, of course. So yeah, definitely GG for my opponent. All right, and we're gonna go against Pudding. I mean, this deck I shouldn't have that big of an issue against this, because we're really fast. Although we don't have the Chopper, which I mean is the card that we want, right? The 3-cost Searcher, but I mean it'll be fine. We can just play the regular one and then rely on the Kid and Killer to just really deal damage here. It doesn't really do much here. I'm just gonna attack for 5, and then yeah, play the blocker and I mean the 3-cost and go. Attacks for 6, 7. Yeah, I definitely want to take that one. It could have attacked or both. I guess it doesn't matter. It just gives me more options to see my cards. I definitely want to see something else here. He goes this chick, so he can attack twice. So he can do the ability next turn. I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna attack 5, 5, 5 3 times. That either forces him to not play the whatchamacallit, the 6-cost, I forgot his name, Karakuri. The Karakuri to ramp, or he'll have to do something else. We saw Sovereignty in the live, so he'll either have to play another Sovereignty, or he has to play the 7 drop. I mean the Karakuri, but then he has to face this board next turn, which is not the greatest thing to do, to be honest. So we have options here, and it's based on what my opponent does, of course. Having the rushers in this matchup is really, really good. So definitely one of the reasons to see what my opponent does, of course. My hand is still pretty meh for this matchup. He's gonna attack for a big number, which I definitely going to protect. 2 sovereignties in life, so he doesn't have either or. So my opponent is definitely behind now, because now I can do so many things here to just be able to pressure. And he attacks for 6, and I do have to give him the event. It probably isn't correct to page the chopper, because I have a play next turn. I'm just gonna attack for a big numbers, and then I'm gonna close the game with Kid and Killer in my hand. So I probably don't need the Hawkins, honestly. It's probably not necessary. Oh, I drew another Hawkins, so it turned out to be the right play here. Yeah, we go 5-5. Infinite number. Maybe put the opponent to 0 or to 1 at least. At the very least, is 1. I used the chopper ability thinking that I could buy back one of the choppers. I have no excuse for that. And then I attacked 7-7-9 actually, because I do need to force a damage here, and I did. So that this forces maybe another damage here, and then this is definitely gonna force another damage here. Attacking for 10, so he's down to 0 life. And if he's not doing Big Mom next turn, he's dying. But even if he does do Big Mom next turn, I can just block with the chopper that I have in hand into the killer, and I have a lethal threat on board. So that's still a problem. He might do a sovereignty here, but he needs to heal as well, because then I have just an all-in attack with the leader, or I can just go with killer, which I think will be actually more. Since he restands and I can just do a big number. So he needs a blocker, and he needs a sovereignty maybe. That could get him there, depending if he has counters in hand. But this is a problem for my opponent, definitely. And there's no chance that he can go for game, so he has to find another option. He goes Brûlé. Brûlé is the blocker, right? So he goes sovereignty and a blocker? Question mark? Okay. I could block out of this, because it really doesn't matter. It's all about... I feel like I can win this turn. I could wait, but there is no reason to. I feel like I can just win this turn. Does he have 8? He needs like basically 9k counter, but he hasn't been comboing out of any of my attacks, so that means he's really low on those. He probably doesn't have too much counter, and this deck does suffer from that, like not having enough counters here. And then attacking for 11. If he couldn't combo out of the first one, he doesn't combo out of the second one. And yeah, as I thought, he just didn't have enough combo power, because he also needs to combo the leader. So it's one of the problems of playing so many bricks in this deck, definitely. And that's why my deck of Pudding doesn't play that nearly as many bricks. It just plays the barely minimum, because aggro decks are gonna just eat your life. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good showcase, and although yeah, my opponent didn't do much, honestly, but and we didn't also, to be fair. As you can see, I was playing the Momu in the deck before, but I changed it to the other one because I think it's better. It gives you like a little bit of an upside against like black decks, so that's why I changed it. Alright, we're gonna play against Rob Lucia again. This hand was really bad. We have a chopper, but is that enough? Hopefully. We do get a hit here, and hopefully he doesn't remove this one. It's unlikely since he didn't combo out of the first attack. He will need something like a Suru Brook, or Rob Lucia doesn't do it, does it? I don't think so. Okay, we get a Cavendish. That's pretty good. He attacks our life. Interesting. Okay, so he goes through. Okay, and he attack our leader. Interesting. Okay. Not bad, but definitely we lose a lot of steam here by losing that. I could keep my chopper alive, like untapped, forcing my opponent to deal with it. Maybe they're able to, but I just don't have any other play, so I have to keep my chopper alive because I really don't have anything else to do here. Very specific opening to deal with the chopper, but okay. What are we gonna do, right? Let's see if he has a raw blueshy and an ice age. That will deal with my board as well here. So that would be worst case scenario, and I don't think I can recover from that. Not with this hand at least. I do need something else to go well here to be able to recover from that. 5. I think I kind of have to combo out of that one, but I also am looking for a play because I don't have anything to play. And I drew a third kickback kick manners. That's why I turned it off to 2 at the beginning. But yeah, this is absolutely devastating here at the moment. Rob Lucy plus Ice Age. This is more common to see, but it doesn't hurt a little less for having that, of course. Now I don't think I have a good, like, not with this hand. I just don't have another follow-up play that I can do. He attacks with the Brook, which at this point he's happy to let it die. That would be the best card. He's just being greedy because I didn't have the vent. Also, I couldn't activate that card. That card is very good against this deck. So definitely one of the things that didn't happen in this game. So we're really far behind. It's just my hand doesn't do anything, and also my opponent has been drawing the best removal. So we're gonna try. We're gonna keep trying. At any point we can try to kill him, but he has a lot of cards in hand. He hasn't really spent any resources, so it's unlikely. It's unlikely, especially if the next card that comes down is a Gecko Moria. It's just like, and this turn I just really didn't do anything, honestly. So I have like defense, but I don't have anything, honestly. If we hit a chopper out of this one, maybe we can distract the opponent long enough to maybe do something, but maybe it's unlikely. I don't know. Let's see what else my opponent does though. Attacks for 5. Well, okay, I guess I combo to that. But that just tells me he's probably gonna play a Gecko Moria, and that's a lot. I do get to... I'm not gonna use the event on the first attack because I assume he's gonna attack with Rob Lucy. I wanna try to hide the fact that I can play a chopper maybe out of life. But this is another Rob Lucy to Gecko Moria. I feel like that's probably enough. But again, we're gonna keep trying that. We don't surrender on this here. We didn't get a chopper, so again, okay, I guess. And the only way that I see myself winning this game is gonna be by dealing the damage here to the leader. So what I'm gonna do, and it hopefully works, attack for 7, do -3, attack for maybe I should have attacked in a different manner. Yeah, I should have attacked with the leader first. I don't know why I didn't attack with the leader first. Should attack 6 for the leader, then 7, 8. And then, oh, I didn't want to get trigger out of life. And that happened, actually. So I did play around that. And then here, attack with this one. Then hit something with the event. And then draw a Kid and Killer. That is my strategy to try to win this game. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let's see what we get out of life. We have Connor. Maybe he does a different play. 16. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're able to win here. We were missing a 1K and then something that I can play out of the life. So yeah, it's not possible. Maybe if I get a blocker out of life out of the deck, and then I have a kid and killer. I did have the blocker there. I don't know if that was enough. I don't think I can even out combo to this. Yeah, I cannot. So yeah, it was game. I mean, it was a really unfortunate hand for us, and my opponent just had everything. So yeah, we're gonna lose those. We didn't have anything to play, and the opponent had everything. So definitely it's not the matchup where you can just have a downturn and win the game still. So you do have to have a decent opening to face. Is definitely the worst matchup for the deck. But all I'm just saying is that you do have a better chance against Rob Lucy than any regular Zoro deck. But yeah, with that being said, all right, for my final thoughts on this deck, this is definitely up there with Zoro. So I would say it's a 5-star leader. And again, if you're playing Zoro and you want to try this deck, I would highly recommend it because it's definitely the better version of the deck in my opinion. And you should just give it a try and see it for yourself and see how powerful it can really be, how explosive it can really be, and all the combos that you can do with this deck. But with that being said, that's all I have for today. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.